Hi everyone, this is Hitesh. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are covering one of the most commonly asked Android interview topics, that is how push notifications work using Firebase cloud messaging, or we can say FCM. Let's break the entire flow down in a simple and visual way. So the first step would be is to do the app setup on the Firebase console. You open the browser and you just open the Firebase console website, which is internally linked with the FCM server. Alright, now once you open the website, you would have to pass certain details related to the app, like app package name, and few other details if needed. And once those things are done, it will connect to the FCM server, and then FCM server will basically generate two files for you. The first one would be Google services.json file. The second one would be service account.json file. Now these two files once generated, you will see the option to download these two files from the console website itself, the FCM console website itself. Now the first file, Google services.json, this file has to be kept on the client side. That means the Android platform where you have the project or the Android repo. You just pass and you just put this file there. And the second file, which is service account.json, this file, basically this JSON file, is basically has to be kept to the server side. So you just pass this to the server team. Now both of the files contains all the required details that basically is required to connect with the FCM server. Alright, so assuming once you have downloaded these two files and one of them you have kept on the server side, and the other one you have kept at the client side, the third step would be you go to the app again, and once you launch the app, it will basically initiate to the Firebase console, which internally will call to the FCM server. Why it will call to the FCM server? Because the mobile device and the Android repo contains the Google services.json, which basically contains all the relevant information that is needed to connect to the FCM server. Now once the FCM server is connected, it will analyze and it will read all the details that it is coming from, for which device and coming from which device, and based on that it will generate the FCM token and it will send it to the device. Now until this is how the FCM token or the app token would be generated from the FCM server to the mobile device. Now once the mobile device receives the FCM token, it is our responsibility as a developer to store that FCM token and send it to the backend server. Now how we are going to send it to the backend server is, the backend server is going to provide us one HTTP request, probably it would be the post API, wherein we would have to pass the FCM token, the one that we have received from the server, FCM server. We will pass that FCM token to the backend server using the HTTPS request. Now once that HTTPS request is done and we have sent that token, the backend server will retrieve that token. Plus, now what is going to do, once it starts retrieving, right, it will start saving all of those details into the database against the user ID. For example, the device that has sent as a user ID 1 and it has sent some token XYZ. So the backend server is going to save those details into the database, and whenever the FCM token is updated from the FCM server, which will be sent to the mobile, then later which will be sent to the backend server, the backend server's responsibility would be to keep on updating that token against that user ID. So once it has entire database, what it is going to do is, now let's say there is any comment that has been made on your application, or any kind of push notification or update that the server has to send to the mobile device, so that it can notify the user that okay, this is the change that has been made, or this is the new notification that has to be sent. So the backend server, what it's going to do is, it is going to follow this step number 6, which is server will extract the access token from the service account JSON file. So remember, the service account JSON file is nothing but the file that was retrieved in step 2 and it was kept at the server always. So that access token would be needed, plus the app token that the mobile device is sent to the server against that specific or the relevant user ID plus some content and sent to the FCM server. So basically, if I want to notify the user or if I want to send notification to the user, I would have to have these three information. One is the access token extracted from the service account. The second one would be the app token received from the mobile device plus the new content that I want to send, like the title, the body, the user ID and some XYZ other details. Once we have all of those details, the backend server is going to connect with the FCM server. Now how FCM server will know that okay, this is the device or like this is coming from the genuine server is because of the service account JSON file, which basically will be holding all the relevant information that would be needed to connect with the FCM server. So once the FCM server receives all of these information, it is going to send that notification to the mobile device through FCM console, and once the mobile device receives, basically it is going to send to the Android device. The Android device responsibility would be to check which application matches to the same package name that the notification is meant for. Once it figure it out, then it is going to deliver that particular notification to the mobile device. So guys, this is how the entire push notification flow works, starting from the console website, connecting to the FCM, then generating these two files, then sending one of them to the mobile, the other one to the backend server, and then later generating or connecting the mobile to the FCM server, and then retrieving the access token or the FCM token, and then sending that FCM token to the backend server, then retrieving or extracting the access token from the service account JSON, plus keeping the app token and plus keeping the content, and then sending to FCM server, and then in last it will receive that notification to the mobile. So just to wrap it up, Firebase cloud messaging basically acts as a bridge. This thing acts as a bridge, and as a bridge between your server and the user device. It also ensures that messages reach the right device using the registration tokens, the app token I'm talking about, and depending on whether it's a notification or a data message, it decides who handles it, the system or your app code. And then this app launch, Firebase SDK, FCM server, redundant tokens, and then coming the app receive tokens again. So understanding this flow helps you debug delivery issues, design reliable notifications logic, and scale your messaging strategy confidently. And that's it guys. If you want me to create more videos on any specific topics, then do let me know in the comment section below. I'll be happy to do it. Have a great learning ahead, and I see you in the next video. Thank you.